Good morning. I'm not sure whether the camera is working at the moment. The phone seems to have crashed. I've deleted the past 2 months of videos, which I do periodically. And when I do that, then the phone takes a long time to process the information. But this morning I've come to the workshop to light the stove because I don't know whether it's audible on the video, but it is raining very hard, and it's been raining very hard for many hours now. My garden is flooded in certain places, and I walked barefoot up to the workshop, and I realised I needed to get some warmth in here and some to dry everything. There is a leak. There are at least one leak anyway where the flue exits from the roof, and so heating the stove helps to minimize the damage that causes. It will need to be fixed, of course, in the fullness of time. And I've had a cleansing this morning, a very thorough wash and shower, and I've cut off my hair, which had grown longer than I prefer, and just generally it feels like a kind of cleansing process. I'd fallen into something of not depression exactly, but I had become immobile due to my tiredness with my constant exercise, and I also now have to prepare my accounts, and that is a very difficult task for me. I find it very intimidating, although once I get started I'm sure it'll be fine. So I'm putting that off, and I've been putting it off now for 2 or 3 days and just resting actually. So this morning I think there will be a change, and the weather announces it. When the rain eases off, I'll certainly go to the ford and see what condition it's in. With weather like this, the little river that runs near my house will become a raging torrent, and the ford will be closed to traffic, although there are some drivers who will nonetheless try to venture in, sometimes causing plenty of reason for discussion locally, because it does happen that cars become stranded and people take unnecessary risks. It's one thing to drive through 2 or 3 inches of water, it's another thing to try to drive through a foot or a foot and a half of fast flowing river, and more than one car has come unstuck in that venture and ended up getting not exactly swept away, but there's a bridge and they get jammed under the bridge, and it can be a dangerous condition. But to me, the ford is a very important feature of the land. I've come to understand it as having a spiritual significance of connection, as it does in the Bible, with the ford Jabbok. And I see it as forming a connection between the different cultural practices that are that occur in this area, with so many Muslim in particular, and Hindu and Buddhist people, and also Christians. And the land needs healing, and our spiritual life needs healing, and there must be a connection. And I don't mean by that we should accept the practices of the heathen. They shouldn't have been allowed in our land in the first place. We are to be hospitable to strangers, but we can't allow them to build their temples and to bring their gods into our land, and yet this is what has occurred. And so we need to find some form of redress, and it must be peaceable, and it must be respectful, and the principle of love thy neighbour must be maintained. But I have no time really for these religions any more than I do with, I suppose you could call it, mainstream Christianity. I've heard it called churchianity. I don't think it's any better. The Muslim religion is so much a religion of works, and it pains me to see the people, the women clad in their black robes and covered in their black sheets, and sometimes with the hair and the face even covered, and just the eyes visible, as though God requires that of us, and the praying that the men engage in 5 times a day, always facing Mecca at certain specific hours. Islam is a religion of works, and many have tried to transform Christianity into another religion of works. It's just the pride of man, the pride of life, really. And glory is not given unto the Almighty God. And this needs to change. And I think it will change as understanding begins to spread. And the word of the Lord is brought back into the land, and the wicked Bibles are removed, and understanding begins to flow. I look forward to these times, but in the meantime, we have the ford. It is a symbol, and I always think of that when I cross. There is a footbridge. There's no need to wade through it, although one can, if the water is low. But this is the state of the land at the moment, with a great deluge and a great washing, and rain is a blessing, and I thank the Lord for it. Good morning, everybody. God bless you.